Well, hello, friends, and happy Thursday to you all. As promised, here is my third weather briefing, weather update about our potential winter storm this weekend. I hate to even use the word potential now because I think it's a very likely chance that we're going to see a pretty substantial winter storm here in Charlotte. So I thought I'd show you today's data. The good thing is the models are continuing to converge on a solution, as you hope that they do. So again, basically what this graphic is showing you is our system. It's right in here across the upper plains and eastern Rocky Mountains, and that system is going to dive southward. And if you remember yesterday, the GFS had this system centered over Tennessee, but now you see it is centered much farther south than Tennessee. It's over central Alabama, which is basically where the European model had this storm system centered. And then that system tracks just to the north and west of Charlotte, basically through the mountainous counties, and goes up into Virginia. The track of this upper level system is going to be really, really important for the weather that we get. The other thing I like about this graphic, I didn't explain this yesterday, is this is how fast the air is rising. So this is vertical motion, something we call omega in meteorology. And you can see right in this time frame, about right around midnight or so, Saturday night into Sunday, you start to see these bright red colors. And that means air is rapidly rising in the atmosphere. And they just keep getting brighter and brighter and really intense. And when you get a lot of vertical motion like this, that means very heavy precipitation. So when you wake up on Sunday morning at around 7, 8 in the morning, or if you wake up at 9 or 10, it's going to be precipitating heavily. And notice I keep saying precipitating because we're not exactly sure yet what kind of precipitation that's going to be. It's getting a little clearer, certainly clearer than yesterday, but there's still a lot of variables. And just to show you the European model's version of this as well, and here comes that same system in the middle of the country, and you see now they match up very nicely. It's centered right over Alabama again. So at least now the main models are kind of honing in on the track of this system. So that's a good thing because that gives us more confidence in our forecast. I thought I'd show you now the two different models, what they do here at the surface. So this is the GFS, the first one. This has precipitation starting after midnight, Saturday into Sunday. Starting off with some snow and sleet across the area, mountains from Asheville. All of the mountain counties will start off as snow. I think according to this model, it's going to be kind of a snow-sleet mix here in Charlotte initially, quickly changing over to sleet, and then sleeting, and then eventually changing to freezing rain for quite a bit of the day. This is now about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think the heaviest precipitation with the storm is going to be from 4, 5, 6 a.m. through about mid-afternoon. And depending on which model is correct, it could precipitate all the way till 5, 6, 7 in the evening. It just depends on the overall track. And then we might see some snow on the back side of it, actually. So according to the GFS, it's going to do this. It's going to snow a little bit, a couple inches, sleet mixing in, so snow and sleet, couple inches of that. Change to freezing rain for quite a few hours, then change back over to some snow on the back side. It sounds messy, and it is messy, and it will be messy if that is the solution. Here's the European model. The difference between this and the GFS is it has a more eastern tracking area of low pressure. So notice what it does. It has the precipitation starting, again, sometime around 2, 3, 4 in the morning, Saturday night into Sunday. But notice it starts a much broader area of snow and much farther south, all the way down to Atlanta. It's snowing. This model just has a colder profile. This area of high pressure that's up here that we talked about yesterday is deep. It's strong, very Arctic air, very dry. So in my opinion, this probably has a better handle on the cold air and the cold air depth and strength. It also tracks the low a little bit farther to the east, which allows more of this cold air to become established and entrenched. And it keeps us as snow. So according to this, heavy snow around 7, 8 in the morning from basically Union County all the way down through Greenville, Spartanburg, up the I-85 corridor and all points north and west. And eventually changes that to sleet and snow by around 10 or 11 in the morning, then eventually changes us all over to freezing rain by mid-afternoon, by about 1, 2 in the afternoon, and then ending as a little bit of freezing rain or so around 6 or 7 in the evening, with a little bit of snow, again, on the back side of that system. So it's too early to give you exact totals because we're still about 2.5 days away, but it is now in that range where we can start putting out scenarios of what might happen. So this is the GFS. Remember, this is the warmer, icier solution to this. So I'll just zing this forward, and this shows a snow total map if the GFS is the more accurate model. So notice in downtown Charlotte, like 2 or 3 inches of snow. The farther north and west you go, so notice you go up to Huntersville, Lake Norman, we're talking 8 inches of snow. Back towards Gastonia, 5-6 inches of snow. You see the mountains get hammered here, 1 to 2 feet of snow, according to the GFS. But notice there's a sharp divide line here. Now, that doesn't mean these folks down here are not going to get anything. It just means they're not going to get much snow, which snow might be better in this case than the other, which is freezing rain. So just keep that in mind, that this is a pretty sharp divide, at least on the GFS, with Charlotte, kind of Mecklenburg County, southern parts getting 1 inch or so, northern parts getting 8 inches or so, with the dividing line in the middle. Of course, that's how that always works, right? But here's the other thing. So even if you don't get snow, you're going to get something. This is the GFS's accumulated freezing rain total. So this is not snow and sleet. This is how much freezing rain will accumulate on trees and power lines and cars and stuff. And currently for Charlotte, the GFS has us getting well over 1/2 inch of ice, which is destructive levels of ice where it brings trees down and that sort of stuff. So hopefully we're not dealing with a big ice storm. But if the GFS were to verify, it's showing us getting quite a bit of ice. In fact, most of the models now are showing us getting a decent bit of ice somewhere. But just keep in mind a few things. Notice the southern extent of the ice field here. It basically ends kind of south of the North and South Carolina border, but the northern counties of South Carolina get a lot of ice. Then it has just basically all rain across South Carolina. Notice it shows nothing really for the upstate of South Carolina or much of Georgia. If I go back to the snow field and show you that's the snow range, it too only shows just a little bit of snow for North Georgia, and not much snow in central South Carolina. Because this is the warmer model. It has the low tracking farther west, and it has a warmer solution. This is the European solution, so same time frame. Notice it shows a similar amount of snow in Charlotte, another 4 inches according to the Euro. The thing, though, with the Euro is it projects a good bit more sleet, I think, so that's keeping the snow totals down. Once again, the mountains from Asheville up to Boone and whatnot, at least a foot of snow in many of these locations. But notice some of the differences. It has much more snow across the Atlanta area. It has much colder air across the region, so it brings snow all the way back through Greenville, Spartanburg, all the way back into Atlanta. Could see several inches of snow from the system. The other thing to keep in mind is, once again, freezing rain totals according to the Euro. If you zing this forward, notice how it covers much of South Carolina now in a large freezing rain event. Charlotte still gets almost 1/2 inch of freezing rain according to this model. So we just have to be very cognizant that the type of precipitation is clearly not a slam dunk here. I think what is a slam dunk for at least Charlotte is the whole precipitation event should remain below freezing at the surface. So we're going to see all sorts of precipitation types. If I were to first guess, from kind of central Mecklenburg County, now obviously if you live up in Huntersville in the northern or western parts of the county, I think closer to like Belmont or Huntersville, you're going to see more snow and sleet versus Ballantyne, that area. There's going to be kind of a divide between where the ice is going to line up. But my first guess, if I were just saying just Mecklenburg County, is I think we all start as snow overnight, Sunday into Monday. I wouldn't be surprised if we all wake up to snow falling on Sunday morning. But then it's going to gradually change over to sleet from southeast to northwest. And then it's going to change, that sleet's going to change from freezing rain gradually from southeast to northwest. And exactly where those line up, it's hard to say at this moment. We're still 2.5 days away. We'll have a better understanding tomorrow when more of the high-resolution models get in range. But suffice it to say, I think we're going to see a prolonged winter weather event. It's going to start, again, after midnight on Saturday and last probably all the way through Sunday around 5 or 6 in the evening. And then it's going to get much colder Monday and Tuesday following the storm system. So we could have very damaging levels of ice if these things verify. We'll have a lot of sleet and snow to deal with. This will probably be the biggest ice/snow or winter weather winter storm we've seen in Charlotte in many, many years. So not to sound the panic button, but I would prepare. I would prepare for power outages. I would prepare for not being able to drive around for a couple of days at least, maybe Sunday and Monday. Luckily, Monday's a holiday, and I know a lot of people have off, so that might help some people keep off the roads and whatnot. But again, now's the time to prepare. Don't wait until Saturday evening when the ice storm warnings are up and everyone's flooding to the stores and nothing's there. So just again, make sure you have batteries, water, the usual stuff in case we do get a big ice storm, which again, looking at all of these models, it looks likely we're going to see quite a bit of frozen precipitation. So anyway, stay safe today. I will have another update tomorrow with even more data, and we'll get closer to the storm, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more precision here. So have a good day, everybody.